Good evening. This is Imranul Haq with a new reading video, book 19. It's academic book, test 3, reading passage 1. And you can see the topic archaeologists discover evidence of a prehistoric island settlers. Okay, it seems a bit difficult one, but we'll do it in a convenient way. So let's start. What kind of questions are given? You can see these are true, false, and not given. Should we start true, false, or not given, or what you call that completing summary? These questions are comparatively easier than the rest of the questions. So we should do this one first because we just want to enhance our morale and confidence as well. So let's start. Question from 18 to 13. So read out the instructions first, one word only. This is a compulsory, hard and fast. Let's start. Archaeological findings on OB. Excavations of rock shelters inside. Okay, underline the keywords. Near the village of Kalo revealed. Okay, something is revealed near the village of Kalo. Okay, so these excavation of rock shelters are inside somewhere. So let's see where are something. Okay, where are these excavation of rock shelters? Let's start. Okay. So we have this Kalo and excavation of rock shelters. These are the keywords. Okay, the village as well, and that is known as well, and that might help you find out the words or the keywords easily. Okay, let's start. So we'll check first of all OB excavation, Moluku excavation. This is excavation. Okay, so which are these excavation? These are excavation of rock shelters. Where are rock shelters? Rock shelters. OB is there. Oak shelter. No. Yeah, you can see this one. Just this one is village is there. Kalos on Obis northern coast. Let's read it. Just inland from the village of Calo on Obi's northern coast. Just inland the village of Calo on Obi's northern coast. Shipton and his colleagues found two caves. Okay, where did they found? Okay, where did they found? Okay, just inland from the village of Kalo on Obi's northern coast. Okay, Obi's northern coast at Kalo's village, they found something inside it. Okay, and who found? Shipton and his colleagues found two caves. Okay, caves are inside the Kalo's village. Okay, and containing prehistoric rock shelters. Okay, so what is there inside the caves? Okay, rock shelters. Let's see. Okay, let's see this one. Okay, excavation of rock shelters inside. So where are these excavation of rock shelters located? Inside somewhere. Inside where? You can see inside caves. So here we have just inland. So read out from here, inland inside from the village of Kalos on Obi's northern coast. This is given also. Shipton and his colleagues found two caves. They found two caves. Okay, and inside these caves, okay, they contain prehistoric, and you can see here. Okay, so excavation of rock shelters insides containing. Okay, they are inside the caves. Okay, write down the caves. Next one is axis. Okay, don't do this one. Axis, this is the keyword also, so keep in mind these numbers. Axis made out of, axis made out of, these are the axes. They are made from something. Okay, dating from some 11,700 years ago. Let's see where that keyword is given. 11,700. Let's see, 11,700 something is given. Okay. 11,700. Check, is there anywhere 11,700? Nowhere given. Let's see on the next page. Okay, 11,700. Yes, you can see here. Just yeah, on the very first line. Okay, as ago. Okay, now you can see Axis made out of, axis made of out of what? Let's see, dating back to 11,000 years ago. It means 11,700 years ago, axis made from something. And which was that thing, which was that item, which was that metal with which they made that axe? Okay, let's see. Okay, years ago, as the most recent ice age ended, the climate became significantly warmer and wetter, no doubt making Obi's jungle much thicker. According to the researcher, it is no coincidence that around this time, the first axes, no, you can say the first axes crafted, make, crafted from stones. So now you can see first axis made from stone. Okay, although after, sorry, rather than seashells appears. Okay, they were not made of seashells, but made out of stone. Okay, so write down stones here. Yes, now you can see that now this sentence gives you a sense as well. X is made out of stone, dating from, and the keyword is given now. This one and this one is given. I have showed you as well. Let's move towards the next thing. Of an animal, evidence of what ancient islanders ate. Okay, there is something evidence of animals. Okay, on which the islanders, the dwellers of that island, I mean live. Let's see what was the evidence of animal. Okay, animals, yeah. Judging by the bones, which the researcher, now judging by the bones, with what they used to judge, with the bones. Okay, which the researchers unearthed in the Kalos cave. Okay, they unearthed, they dug up the Kalos caves. People living there mainly hunted the Rothschild's caucus, a possum-like creature that still lives on the Obi today. Okay, you can see as the forest grew more dense, people probably used axes. No, no here. Judging by the bones which the researchers unearthed in Kalos cave, people living there mainly hunted they used to hunt this kind of Rothschild's carcass. Okay, and with what the researchers judged them, they judged by the bones. You can see bone of the animals, so bone is the answer. So write down the bones. Okay, if the bone is singular, write down the singular. If it's plural, write down the plural. So let's move toward the next thing. Obsidian. Okay, a material that is not found naturally there, which resembled, something is resembled means something like the other. Okay, matching, you can say, which resembled once found on the island. Something is found on the island and that is resembled something. With what that thing is resembling, let's see. Okay, uh, resemblance, first of all, you can say this one, try to underline this keyword. Okay, and this part of the, that they found something on the other island, and what they found that resembles with the, which we are going to search, and that is the answer as well. So let's see. So this one, Shipton's team excavation. Let's see. Okay, Shipton's axis, glass substance, obesity. Yes, you can see this one. This word we have found there. Yes, this one. And now the answer is nearby this word. Let's start. Let's move toward the next line to Obestian. Okay, which must have been brought over from another island. Now you can see brought from another island, so that is written also. From what ancient, sorry, here, which resembled once found on the other island. You see this one, so we'll check what they found and with what they resemble. It also revealed, sorry, brought over from another island, as there is a known source on Obi. It also revealed particular types of beads. Okay, it also revealed, okay, it exposed some specific type of beads similar to those previously found on the, you can see previously they found something. So this part of this text is matching with this one. You can see this one. Okay, once found on the other island. Okay, so now you see this one, those previously found on the island, and what they found is similar to, you can say, beads. So beads is the answer. Beads which resembled ones found on the other island. So let's move toward the next thing. The next thing is we have this one. Okay, may have switched from hunting to fishing, had as well as items made out of metal. They used to had some items, they were made out of metal, and something else they had also. Let's find that is the true answer as well. So let's see. Okay, let's see that one. Okay, let's see. Excavations is there. He's had an item of metals and OB Islanders 8000. We'll check where is 8000. 8000 is here. Years ago, both were abandoned. Did the residents leave? No. Whatever the reason for the departure, there is evidence for use of calo shelters after the time until 1000 years ago, when they were reoccupied by people who owned pottery as well as items. Yes, you can say as well as items made out of silver and gold. Now you can say as well as items made out of gold and silver. Now you can say as well as items made out of metal means silver or gold. So they had as well as, okay, items. So what else they had? Okay, now you can see they owned. Okay, had shows the possession, and even had is for owned. Okay, so they had pottery as well as the items made out of metals means gold and silver. So you can see this one is pottery, POTTERY. Okay, let's move toward the questions like true false and not givens. These are true false and not givens. Okay, you see. Okay, I have already done when the information is matching, it's true, contradicting, false, and if the information is not given or partially given, then it's considered as not given. So let's start. Archaeological research had taken place on the island of Obi before arrival of the Sari Shipton and his colleagues. Before the arrival of Sari Shipton and his colleagues, okay, archaeological research was carried out on the island of Obi. Let's see. Okay, let's see, because this is paragraph passage, reading passage 1, and the question number 1. Try to look in the very first paragraph also. In 2019, Shipton and his colleagues from Australia National University became the first archaeologists to explore Obi. They were the first. They were the first researcher or the archaeologist. Okay, archaeologist who explore Obi, okay, but they were the first. Shiptons and his colleagues were the first, okay, who explored Obi. They were the archaeologists, and you can see here archaeologists had taken place on the island before the arrival of Sari Shipton, and his archaeological research had taken place on the someone carried out any research in the island of Obi before the arrival of these. No. Shipton and his colleagues were the first one who carried out research in the Obi's desert. So it is contradicting, so it is false. So at the Calo sites, the researchers found the first clamshell axes ever to be discovered in the region. At the Calo sites, these are the sites. The researcher found the first clamshell axes ever to be discovered in the region. Okay, so researchers said that they found there, okay, some axes. They were made of clamshell and they were only found here, nowhere else. So we will check whether they discovered only at this place or somewhere else. Let's see. Okay, we were there, so we'll check here. Okay, check here. Hello, yes, Shiptons. Okay, Shiptons there. We did there. Yes, prehistoric suitable excavation with the permission. They dug up a small test excavation. There they found numerous artifacts. Now you can see here. There they found numerous artifacts. They found some art I mean, some items there, okay, including fragments of axes. They found some parts or pieces of axes, some dating to about 14,000 years ago. Okay, some were old, around 14,000 years ago. The earliest axes at Callow were made use of clam shells. Okay, the earliest axes were made out of clam shells. Axes made from clam shells from roughly the same time had also previously been found elsewhere in the region. Now you can see axes made from clanfish from roughly the same time had also previously been found elsewhere in the region. They were not only axes found only at this place, but they were found somewhere else in the region. Somewhere else in the region. Okay, they were not found only at one place. Okay, but they were found somewhere else in the region. And now you can see, this one. Okay, okay, clamshells axis ever to be discovered in the region, ever to be discovered in the region. No, 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 they discovered somewhere else in the region also. So the contradiction is there, so it is considered as false. Let's see, the size of the OB is less than the size of the OB today is less than it was 18,000 years ago. So you can see this one, 18,000 years ago. Let's see, 18,000 years ago, the size of the OB today is less. Okay, comparing to 18,000 years ago. Let's see. Okay, the oldest cultural layers from the Kallo site provided the team with the earliest record for human occupation on Obi, dating back to around 18,000 years ago. This is the keyword or key digits. At this time, the climate was drier and colder than today. Okay, at this time, the climate at that time, I mean 18,000 years ago, the climate was drier and colder than today, comparing to today's climate. And the island's dense rainforest, and the island had a dense rainforest, would likely have been much less impenetrable than they are now. They were impenetrable. Nobody can penetrate into those jungles, into those rainforests. Okay ji. And you can see here, okay, dating back to it in the, at this time the climate was drier and colder than today, and the island's dense rainforest would likely have been much lesser impenetrable than they are now. They were less impenetrable. Okay, now you can see then now, and here you can see the size of the OB is less than it was okay, 18,000 years ago. It was not penetrable. It was not penetrable. This one, it was less impenetrable than now. Okay, now you can see less impenetrable than now. It was less impenetrable. You cannot penetrable at that time, okay, comparing to today. So now you can see in the size of the OB is less than it was 18,000 years ago, because it was impenetrable that time. Okay, and the size of the that what you call that uh, rainforest, okay, the OB was more than today's size. Now you can see, so this is matching information, so that's why it is considered as true. Okay, now a change in the climate around 11,000 years ago had greater impact on the OB than on its surrounding islands. A change in the climate around 11,700 years ago, when there was a change in the climate in 11,700 years ago, okay, it had great impact on OB than its surrounding areas. Let's see, that climate change had greater impact on OB than its surrounding areas, surrounding islands. Let's see, there is also, yes, here it is 11,700. Okay, now you can see here, as the most recent ice change ended, the climate became significantly warmer and cold, wetter. Now you can see these keywords are given. These keywords are given. Okay, no doubt, and this one is there. The climate was becoming warmer and wetter, and here it also told us that it was getting warmer and wetter. Okay, and the time was given also. Yes, the time was given also. See here. The time was given also 11,000 years ago. The climate change, okay, had greater impact on Obi than its surrounding areas. Let's see. Okay, okay, years ago, the most recent ice age ended. The climate became significantly warmer and wetter, no doubt making Obi's jungle much thicker. According to the researcher, it is no coincidence that around this time the first axes crafted from stone rather than seashells appear, likely in response to their heavy duty use. You can see the date is given, okay, and the digits are giving roughly around 11,000 years ago. The change of climate is there also, warmer and wetter, but you can see there is nowhere mentioned that the Obi was more affected than the surrounding areas. Nowhere mentioned. So when the information is not given, so it is considered as not given. So let's move toward the next one. So researchers believe, they believe that there is a connection between warmer, wetter weather and the change in the material used in to make axes. Okay, the researcher says that there is a connection between the climate change and the change of the material used for making axes. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this one was there also. Okay, and you can see warmer and better climate change was there, but we are going to look for whether it also cast impact on the materials used for making axes. No doubt, okay, no wetter and cold is there, climate change, you can see researchers believe that the connection. Okay, so now you can say there was a change in the weather, and now we are going to see in there is there any change in the material with which we make axes. So let's start. uh, According to the researcher, no researchers are there. It is no coincidence that around this time the first axes crafted from stone rather than seashells. Okay, they used to make axes from stones, not from seashells, likely in response to their heavy duty use for clearing and modification the interestingly dense forest, because they were heavily using for cutting, modification and clearing the rainforest. Okay, while stone takes about twice as long grind into, now you can say, now here, while the stone takes twice as long to grind into an axe, okay, compared to the shell. So when you are going to make axes from the material, it takes a long time to grind. It means the material was changed as well. Okay, so now you can see the climate was changing, and the material, okay, which was used to make axes was undergoing a change. Okay, so now you can see a change in the material as well. It takes a long time to make axes. The moreover the climate was becoming warmer and wetter, it means it is true, information is matching, so it is true. So Shipton team were surprised to find evidence of obese islanders hunting practices. Let's see. Shipton's team were surprised to find evidence of obese islanders hunting practices. Obese islanders were involved in hunting practices, and Shipton's team was surprised when they find out the evidence. Okay, let's see. Shipton's team is there. Yes, Shipton's team is there. Now see, Shipton's team excavation of the shelters at the Callow site unearthed a volcanic glass substance called obsidian, which must have been brought over from another island, as there's a known source on Obi. It also revealed particular types of beads similar to those previously found on the island in South Welaka. These finds again support the idea that Obi Islander routinely travel to another. But we can see here, you see, okay, nowhere is mentioned, okay, about their hunting practices. Okay, let's move toward the excavation suggests hunting practices is there, hunting practices of the G. The jungle had grown so thick match for the people simply moved coast and turned to fishing rather than hunting as means of. You can see nowhere is mentioned that shipments team were surprised when they saw the evidence of obese islanders hunting practices. You can see nowhere is mentioned this kind of information, so that is considered as not given. Let's move toward the next thing. It is thought that the Calo shelters were occupied continuously until about 1000 years ago. It is believed that the Calo shelters were continuously captured or occupied until about 1000 years ago. Let's see, 1000 years ago is there. We check, okay, it is true or false. Okay, yeah, 1000 years is this. You can see whatever the reason for the departure. Now you can see they departed from there and departed from there. Here also Calo shelters were reoccupied continuously. Occupied continuously, they occupied continuously for 1000 years ago. Okay, and here whatever the reason for their departure, there is no evidence of use of the Calo shelters after this time. Okay, until about 1000 years ago, they were occupied by people who owned pottery as well as items made out of uh, gold and silver. Okay, these shelters were owned, okay, possessed, okay, by the people who had pottery and other items made out of gold and silvers. But now we are going to talk about again the statement. It is considered that the Calo shelters were occupied continuously until about 1000 years ago. So they occupied these shelters continuously. Okay, 1000 years ago. Whatever the reason for the departure, there is no evidence. There is no evidence. You can say no for use of the Calo shelter after this time until. So there is no evidence. Okay, so there is no evidence that Calo shelters after this time they continuously used for 1000 years ago. Okay, but when they left, okay, when they left, okay, whatever the reason for their departure, there is no evidence, there was no proof for the use of Calo's shelter until 1000 years ago. But here he mentioned that they occupied continuously 1000 years ago. No, 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 there was no proof that they continuously use it for 1000 years ago. So it is contradiction. Okay, so it is considered as false. So this was our today's passage. It was reading passage 1, book 19, okay, reading test 3, and passage 1, it was archaeologists discover evidence of prehistoric island settlers. See you in the next video. Take care.